Yo, once again it's on. Real Ken's TV's back at you one more again. We back in the house like kitchen sinks. You know what I mean? Hopefully you like the video. Definitely feel free to comment, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit that post notification. So anytime I bring this heat at you, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive it. With no further ado, I want to get into this whole Michael Jordan, LeBron James debate. As far as who's the GOAT, I was watching a video. It's an older video, but I was watching it earlier, and LeBron was talking about how certain games that he had made him know unequivocally in his mind that he was the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I got a lot of respect for LeBron. He's my favorite player right now. I love LeBron James, you know what I mean? Pause, though. But I love watching him play. Like I said, he's my favorite player. Kobe was my favorite player, you know what I mean? But LeBron James is simply out of his mind. If he thinks that he's remotely anywhere close to Michael Jordan. See, we all get caught up in this whole right now thing. Half the people that think LeBron is better than Jordan never really seen Jordan play. You see what I'm saying? So we get caught up in the moment of time. He's the best. And like I said, this is no hate. LeBron is that guy. I don't necessarily put him in my top 5, but he's that guy, and that's a heck of an accomplishment. You know, he's top 10, top 15. Reason I don't personally put him in my top 5 is because you got to be able to go to that strike with the game on the line. You can't be afraid. You know, and you got to be able to go to that free throw line and knock down some free throws with the game on the line. And that's not LeBron James, man. He free throw shooting was never really his strength. That's the one weakness, that he has in his game. And I can't put you in the top 5 if I can't rely on you to go to the free throw line with the game on the line. And I need you to make 2. Hell, I'll take 1, because LeBron is subject to go up there and miss both of them. So, I can't put you in my top 5, but you definitely a top 10, top 15, top 20 talent of all time. And that's saying a lot for all the people that have played in the NBA. I know people are going to say, he's played 20 years, and he's a scoring leader. And hey, kudos to him. No disrespect, But he may be the top athlete of all time, just as far as like the longevity, being able to play that long. This is what you got to understand about LeBron, man. Jordan went to college for what? 3 years, I believe. I want to say he played 3 years at North Carolina. It could have been 2, but I want to say 3. So, LeBron, okay, 20 years in the NBA, he never played in college. Also, Jordan probably could have played just as long or close, 17, 18 years or whatever. But he kept walking away from the game. He didn't want to play. Jordan knew that he easily could have been a scoring leader. That wasn't important to him. Championships was important to him. He didn't pad stats. He didn't care anything about that. When I was looking at these numbers that Jordan has, they're impeccable. I mean, they're truly amazing. Like, you look at Jordan, he only had 5 MVPs. Now, the reason I say only, that's a lot of MVPs. But when you really think about it, Jordan probably should have had at least 10 MVPs, but they got tired of giving it to the same person. So they, the NBA is a business, obviously, so they have to market other stars as well. Jordan easily should have had 10 MVPs. And then if he don't continue to walk away, them 6 rings, I believe Jordan would have had probably 8, 9 rings. I don't know about 10, maybe. I don't really count them last 2 years that he came back and played for the Wizards, because that was a business move. He knew that they weren't going to win anything. And I hate when people say, you got to count it because he played. Come on, man. Jordan knew that the Wizards were not going to win anything. He was a part owner of the Wizards. He did whatever he had to do, transferred it out of his name to come back and play, to build up the fan base, to get some players to come to Washington and play. Put butts in the seats. And that's what he did, man. And he still averaged, 20, 21, 22 a game? Like, Jordan was that guy, and a lot of you all just don't really realize that yet. You see film on him, videos, But Jordan was that guy, man. This guy never lost in the finals. So then you'll say, oh, well, what about all the years he didn't make it? What did it take Jordan? 7 years to win his first ring. So they say, well, what about all them years that he failed? Let me tell you something about the NBA back in the 80s. Because Jordan came in the league in 84, I believe. Tough league, man. It wasn't the way that it is now. Now, it's not these players' fault. And I hate when people, it's like they blame the players because of how the league is now. Nah, man, it's not the players' fault. The league want to market the NBA and give it a certain image, So all the fighting and cussing and all that stuff, they still cuss, they still complain and cry to the referee over every damn call. I hate that about the NBA. But it wasn't like it was back then. So Jordan coming up through the ranks, you had to pay your dues, man. He's on the Chicago Bulls team. You got the Boston Celtics, with Larry Bird and Danny Ainge and Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson. And I'm sure I'm leaving out a few, no disrespect, but I'm saying them boys was tough, man. And they was battling every year with the Lakers. Going back and forth for that title. Then you had an upcoming Detroit Pistons team that was hungry. You see what I'm saying? With Zeke, a.k.a. Isaiah Thomas. You had Adrian Dantley, Dumars, Rodman, Microwave, Vinnie Johnson, R.I.P., Rick Mahorn. Yeah. You had some, them dudes, man, it wasn't no game, man. Can't forget about Philly. Can't forget about Cleveland. The Knicks. So you had a lot of teams that Mike had to go through. And not just Mike, but him and Pippen. They had to go through them teams, so they had to pay their dues. And back then, they wasn't letting the dude just come in and just float through the air like that. Nah, this little young punk think he gonna come in, clothesline him. See, these are the battles that Jordan had to go through. He had to get with his trainer and get stronger and gain more weight to be able to take the abuse and the punishment that he would take, man, going to the hole. They trying to kill you in there. And back then, man, they ain't even throw you out the game. Y'all might brawl and nobody get ejected. That's just how it was. The game was tougher back then. Now the game is so soft, you can't even look at a person. Technical foul. I mean, it's really, like, I rarely watch the NBA at this point. Because guys haven't earned their spot. These dudes that was coming in back in the 80s when Jordan didn't play was grown men and played 4 years in college. Grown men. These dudes now get drafted just off potential. What they could be, in the majority of the time, they end up being nothing. So the NBA is just not fun to me. You got a bunch of guys that are athletic but don't really know the game of basketball. Now, that's not everybody, obviously, but I'm talking about the young guys that they keep bringing into the league that haven't really learned the game. But getting back to this LeBron, Michael Jordan thing, I was just simply saying that back then you had people that really knew how to play the game, that really, really was in the league. Like, I got to feed my family out shit. It's $200,000-$300,000 a year I make, man. I can't give that up. Now these dudes coming in making, after they rookie contract. I seen some of the contracts earlier today, and it was literally dudes that I didn't even know. Never really even heard of. Got $200 million contracts, $150 million contract. These guys is making more in one contract than Jordan, Barkley, all them guys made in their whole NBA careers. And they ain't nothing. They nothing. So I'm saying, back then, the game was so much tougher. So you'll be like, oh, well, they shoot threes now, and hey, back then you didn't shoot threes. If they shot threes the way that they shoot threes now, come on, man, what do you think? Jordan wouldn't have adapted? Did you all not see that game in the playoffs against Portland? The infamous, when he hit all them threes in the first half? The man could shoot, but he just never really worked on three-pointers like that. LeBron is a great player, a great athlete. But LeBron has had so much help. It's crazy. Now, you say because you beat the greatest team in history, when you all were down 3-1, and you came back and ended up defeating Golden State, which you all did, I give it to you. And I was cheering for Cleveland. Like I said, I'm a LeBron fan. But that made you know that you was the greatest player of all times. That made you know you the greatest exaggerator of all times. LeBron ain't fucking with Jordan, man. That was a great series. Y'all did that. Some things went your way. Draymond, silly ass, got suspended as usual in the playoffs. Usually what he does. But that don't make you better than Jordan, man. Because you did that. That was a great accomplishment. You came back to Cleveland. You gave them a title. That was a great, that was great. You went to Miami, got with D. Wade, Chris Bosh. Y'all won a couple rings. And you won one with the Lakers, in the bubble. I shouldn't even say it in the bubble because a ring is a ring. So, yeah, you got 4 rings. You got, you've had a great career, but, dude, you're not messing with MJ, man. It's not even close in my book. Why would I take LeBron over Michael Jordan? Why would I take LeBron over Michael Jordan? The game on the line. 7-8 seconds left. We got the ball. Everybody in the stadium knows who's getting the ball. The arena, stadium, whatever you're playing in. Rucker Park, Douglas Park. You know what I'm saying? Douglas Park, that's our Rucker Park here. You know what I'm saying? But wherever y'all might be playing at, everybody knows that Jordan's getting this rock. Everybody knows that LeBron's getting this rock. But the difference is, everybody knows that Jordan's going to shoot that rock. LeBron might pass the last second. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that. You got to be a dog, man. I'm like Iverson. Y'all keep talking about LeBron. Like, what? Y'all just forget about Kobe? But that's a different video for a different day. Did y'all forget about, the Black Mamba? A straight killer on the court? So, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and voice my opinion because as great as LeBron is, he's done a lot of great things off the court, but we're not talking about off the court. We're talking about on the court. Everybody wants to talk about the schools and all the things that he's done outside of basketball, and all that's great. It's tremendous. And I don't say that sarcastically whatsoever. LeBron's for the people. He's for his people. But we're talking about merely the game of basketball. Is he better than Michael Jordan? Hell, even the former players that played with Jordan, and you got a couple of them that hate. You know what I'm saying? A couple of them hate, and some of them may not be hating. Some of them may genuinely feel like LeBron was better, but I think, in my opinion, they hating because they couldn't beat Jordan. So they want to say that LeBron was better because they never could. LeBron stopped a lot of people. Jordan stopped a lot of people from getting rings. Barkley would have had a ring. Ewing probably would have had a ring, maybe. Reggie Miller, I feel like, would have had a ring. Gary Payton would have had a ring. Which, actually, Gary Payton does have a ring. But, during the era that Jordan played. No, these dudes, man, they couldn't get with Mike. He was just on a different level. He didn't have to go team up with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and Hakeem the Dream, you know what I'm saying, and Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley. Nah, he didn't have to do that. So a lot of people, he had Pippen, but guess what? Pippen got drafted in 87 and got developed. He developed. They brought in Ron Harper later on. Ron Harper was Jordan before Jordan, but he had a plethora of injuries, to his knee, but he was still that guy. So you bring in a Ron Harper, you bring in a Dennis Rodman, So he definitely had help, but at the same time, man, he didn't have no other Hall of Famers that they just brought to the squad like that. Like I said, Pippen was a Hall of Famer, but he developed. So I encourage you all to keep But people have to have something to talk about. You have to have something to talk about. So you're going to have people that say, oh, well, LeBron was this and he was that and he played 20 years and who played. Just because you played 20 years, does that make you better than somebody? Maybe Jordan didn't want to play 20 years. And like I said, Jordan went to college. LeBron didn't. But just because you play longer, it doesn't make you better. Just because you score more points. Emmitt Smith is the all-time leading rusher in NFL history. My favorite running back of all time, Emmitt Smith. But does that make him better than Barry Sanders? No. If you ask me, Bo Jackson was one of the coldest running backs I've ever seen in my life. Bo Jackson is top 5 running back, in my opinion. But his numbers don't suggest that. So numbers is not everything. LeBron is a great player. He's doing what he does. He's doing what he loves to do. He's going to break damn near every record in the NBA before it's all said and done. Because he's going to play 23, 24, 25 years. And that's great that his body holds up and he can do that. But that don't make him better than you know what I mean? Your earnest, his earnest ain't even close, man. It's not close. So all of you all that never seen Jordan play, and like I said, you all just watching the videos and I get it. But listen to your old heads. Listen to them ex-NBA players, man. Them dudes played with Mike. They played with him. Pause. They're not just saying that just to be saying it, man. LeBron's cold. Ask D Wade. That's one of LeBron's best friends. But LeBron's not fooling with MJ, man. Just what it is, man. Real Kens TV, man. Hopefully you liked the video. Feel free to comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe, hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this heat, guess what? You'll be amongst the first to receive it and share. See what other people think about this. I know everybody has their opinions. Brown ain't fooling with MJ, man. Ain't even close, man. And y'all that think that he is, you wrong, brother. You wrong. Like I said, Brian ain't even fooling with the Black Mamba. But we gonna talk about it. Till next time. Real Kens TV, we out.